guys can do that while you guys wait. You guys just sit up, crisscross applesauce. So welcome to class. We're starting an exciting series. And we're going to do a little demonstration.
Everybody wants kung fu
By the end of this course, you'll be able to do that. So, the objective of this class will be to introduce the subject of martial arts kickboxing and to engage the students to effectively execute the basic fundamental skills of the martial arts for recreation and self-defense. So, just a little history. Kickboxing is a full contact combat sport that has its roots in Japanese, karate, and Muay Thai. You guys are familiar with Muay Thai? So two martial arts that feature kickboxing and varied striking. So unlike boxing, which is just punching, kickboxing utilizes the legs as well. Okay? And you guys will get into that. So, kickboxing in its current form in America took off during the 1970s after being popularized by Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris. So after that, just like the studios were popularized everywhere in the States. And in the words of Bruce Lee, what martial arts is? It is ultimately an athletic expression of the dynamic human body. More important yet, it is the person who is expressing his own soul. So, kickboxing or martial arts is not just a mere cardio workout that will get you six-pack abs and a toned body, but it is a cultural tradition to maintain dynamic balance between the mind, body, and the soul. So, before we warm up, we have a theme for today. For our first lesson, today's theme is the stance. So we guys say that with me, the stance.
Stance.
So, there's three key elements of the stance that you guys hopefully will take home with you today. One is self-confidence. Say that with me, self-confidence.
Self-confidence.
Okay? So you should be able to be comfortable under your own skin, even just standing there. Okay? And that is your first key. Because any martial artist knows that one stance dictates everything else. Because the way you stand dictates how experienced you are. And so they'll just go around checking your stance out and see how much confidence your body will lose just by standing there. So that's one, self-confidence. Second one is focus. Say that with me, focus. Okay. So in this point, it's important while you're doing the stance to use your senses and be aware of your surrounding. So you're not just standing there, okay? Sorry. Okay, but it's not just about standing there, but it's about being aware of your surrounding. What direction the wind is going. What movement your opponent is about to take. If he's in offensive or defensive mode. You really need to know your spatial surroundings. That's focus, okay? The last one is balance, okay? So say that out. Say that with me, balance.
Balance.
So we've kind of used that in the previous classes, but it's, in the words of Bruce Lee, he says, one must become formless and shapeless like water. Okay? Balance, or the stance, is the foundation for everything else. Okay? And it's your ability to be mobile, to react. Now, throughout our whole entire session, just be mindful. We're going to have some key kind of rules and guidelines. One is don't hit each other. Yes, we'll teach you some cool kick-out moves, but please do not use it for each other. That's more for self-defense. No shoes, but you guys are all awesome. No loud, obsessive talking while we're teaching. And ask questions. But last of all, just have fun. Have fun, all right? And Evan.
All right, before we begin here, we're going to start with introductions. My name is Evan Pratt, and my background in, I guess, martial arts, kickboxing. I've done a little bit of kickboxing, but mostly all my martial arts experience was in jiu-jitsu, which is mostly ground fighting, similar to wrestling. Did that for a while, and I did some karate when I was younger, but that's about it.
I'm John Wheeler, and I'm new to kickboxing, so I'm going to enjoy teaching you guys, and I'm excited to learn with you.
Saying he is a new slayer. Good attention to it. That's awesome. Headband. My name is Steven Matsumura. I've been trained in Taekwondo and Hapkido for 3 years growing up, and just love to move. So love to move, love to wrestle, love to, so that's kind of my experience.
All right, we're going to begin today with a warm-up, so if you could all stand up. All right, and we're going to start with a couple laps. So you guys are going to start behind me. We're going to run around the classroom for 2 laps, and then we're going to get to the 2 lines. So, all right, let's begin. 2 laps.
I'll follow this. This is way better.
Alright, now we're going to break into 2 lines. Yeah, not everyone as expected, but let's have in the front row, let's have 5 in the front row and 6 in the back. If we could do that. Okay. Alright, good. And one of the things that we're going to be doing is we're going to be counting in Japanese for all our warm-ups. So, first thing I'm going to do is teach you how to count to 10 in Japanese. So first I'm going to demonstrate, and then you guys are going to repeat, and we're going to go over it, and hopefully you guys pick this up pretty quickly. Alright, so it's going to be Ichi, Nin, Son, Shi, Go, Ro, Sichi, Hachi, Ku, Ju. That's 10. Alright, so I'm going to say 1, and then you guys repeat it. Ichi.
Ichi.
Ni.
Ni.
Son.
Son.
Shi.
Shi.
Go.
Go.
Roko.
Roko.
Sichi.
Sichi.
Hachi.
Hachi.
Ku.
Ku.
Ju.
Ju.
Alright, one more time. You guys, I'm going to say it again, and then you guys repeat. Ichi.
Ichi.
Ni.
Ni.
Son.
Son.
Shi.
Shi.
Go.
Go.
Ro.
Ro.
Roku. Ichi, ni, son, shi, go. Ro. Sichi.
Sichi.
Hachi.
Hachi.
Ku.
Ku.
Ju.
Ju.
Alright, so now for everything that we do, it's going to be counting to 10 in Japanese. So we're going to start with 10 jumping jacks. On my mark, start. Ichi, gone. Alright. Alright, ready, go.
Ichi, ni, san, shi, go, roku, sichi, hachi, ku, ju.
Alright, next we're gonna go into we're gonna do 10 sit-ups. So sit down. We're gonna be doing the same thing. All the way down, all the way up, arms across your chest, 10 sit-ups.
Alright, ready, go. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go, yoko, sichi, hachi, ku,
Alright, we're going to do 10 to our right side now. Same thing.
Alright. Ready? Ichi, ni, son, shi, go, roku, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. Alright, now 10 to the other side. Ichi, ni, son, shi, go, roku, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. Alright.
Now we're going to do 10 push-ups. Okay? So get into push-up position. And then everyone's going to count together once we get back up into push-up position. Alright, ready, go. Ichi,
Contract your abs. Make sure it's really flat.
go,
And if you need to use your knees, you can use your knees.
sichi, hachi, ku, ju. Alright, we got one thing left. We're going to do, remember that kickboxing is, you got to be in shape. It's a very physical sport. We're going to do 10 mountain climbers. So, but we're just going to switch. So each switch is going to be one. So technically it's only 5. Alright, so ready, go. Ichi, ni, son,
Each
chi,
one is one knee.
go, roko,
Shichi, hachi,
ku, ju.
let's do that one more time. Do that one more time. So each one is one knee.
Yeah,
Okay.
not 2 knees. It's just one. So it's a little easier.
So it's ichi, ni, san, shi,
Yeah,
go, roku. Yeah.
yeah. So it's just one knee each time instead of 2. Alright, ready, go. Ichi, ni, son, shi, go, roko, sichi, hachi, ku, ju. Alright.
Okay, so I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do the stance, and Evan is going to be kind of showing you. We'll turn him this way in the middle so you can see how and what we're doing. And the first part of the stance that you need to know is about the feet. And your feet should be about shoulder width apart. And you should put we're going to do the right-sided stance first. So your right foot's going to be in front of your left foot. And you want your feet not only shoulder width apart, but shoulder depth apart. So that means you don't want to be out here with your knees extended like this. This isn't very stable. The whole point of having your feet shoulder width apart and shoulder depth apart is for stability and balance. And so once you get into that type of feet position, the next thing you want to do is bend your knees to where you're sinking into the ground. And after you have your knees bent, this gives you more stability. You bring your hands up to your face, and you can either have them at your chin or temples, but not covering your eyes. You don't want your hands covering your eyes, because then you can't see. And then also, you want to bring your shoulders, shrug them up a little bit, so you're kind of tense and taut and ready to be able to do quick movements, because that's a key part to the core as well. And then if you notice, he has right shoulder turned a little bit more to where you're twisting your core a little bit, so your right shoulder is going to be leading because your right foot's in front. And you want to twist your body kind of like a corkscrew. And then his elbows should be tucked into his rib cage there, like a string is attached between your rib cage and your elbow, and it's pulling you in for protection, and it kind of just guards against your body. So if everybody can get up, and we'll go through each of these steps, making sure everybody can see them right. We're gonna do both. We'll switch after we're done with the right leg. So we'll do equal time right and left leg. So the first thing is your feet shoulder width apart, and then your right foot in front of your left foot, so it's shoulder depth apart. All right. And then you want to have your knees bent so you're sinking into the ground. Good. And then the next part is bringing your hands up towards your face, chin or temples, either one will work. And then don't cover your eyes. And then you want to have your right shoulder leading. So twist a little bit to have your right shoulder leading. Good. And then you have your elbows tucked in close to your body, along your rib cage there. And then, yeah, so this is the right side of the stance. So everybody now can get out of it and sort of, walk around a little bit. And then when I say stance, just jump straight into that same position. All right, everybody, stance.
You exude self-confidence.
And
Focus.
make sure you get your elbows, your hands up close into your face, and your elbows tucked into your shoulders. All right, good. Now let's do it one more time. All right.
This is
Do
the
a little
most
bit of
important part.
walking around, and then now stance. And then we're gonna make sure that you guys are all pretty stable. All right, so now let's switch to the left side. And what we want to do is do the same thing, except it's on our left side now. So our left foot is going to be forward, and our left shoulder is going to be forward. But other than that, it's basically the same.
Just watch me
We'll
demonstrate first.
go through and have Evan do it first. So he's going to have his legs or feet shoulder width apart, and the right or left foot in front of the right foot, and then he's got his knees bent and his arms up, and then he's going to have his shoulder turned, so his left shoulder is leading, and his elbows tucked in to his rib cage. All right. So now you guys we'll go through it. So left foot forward, and shoulder width and depth apart, and then you bend your knees to sink into the ground, and then bring your hands up to your chin area, and you want to tuck your elbows, tuck them in, and have your left shoulder turned so it's leading. All right, good. Now everybody, let's walk around and get that again, and then let's. All right, so stance, everybody.
Stance. Or balance is the third one.
All right.
You need to withhold a lot of blows. So this is the foundation to everything else.
So now we're going to go over switching between your left front forward stance and your right foot forward stance. Actually, no, we're going to do the right foot forward to switch to the left and then back and forth first. We'll go through it with Evan first. So he's going to be in his right foot forward stance, and then he's going to switch really quickly, just like that. It's just you switch your feet and your shoulders kind of at the same time in one quick, fluid motion. And the point of this is to be quick and keep your knees bent so you have your base and your balance for the stance. And we should be able to do it very quickly. So if you guys want to try it, or I'll tell you when to switch. So start with
your right foot forward.
Start with your right foot forward, and get into so your right foot is stance. Now, switch to your left. Switch to your right. Switch to your left.
So when you're switching key, make sure you don't cross or bring your feet too close. Then your center of gravity will be over a smaller support, and so it'll be easier for you to move or fall over. So right when you're switching, if you do that, someone can kick you and you can fall over. So make sure when you're switching that it's equal distance. Because if you cross over, then you can fall. That's really key, okay?
All right. And now we're going to go over really quick, the next part is a rocker step, which is to keep you kind of moving and allows you to be able to move around, and we'll get to a little game in a little bit. But the key point of the rocker step, and Evan will demonstrate, is you're switching back and forth between weight kind of on each foot, going back and forth like Evan is, and he can go then to the right, or I guess that's left, and then to his right, and he can rock back and forth. And this is sort of how you're going to be moving around in the stance. And the whole point is to keep your balance and lower center of gravity. So if everybody can start doing the rocker movement, rocker step. and just keep going back and forth. And then so if you all could go to